Namaste. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a 30-minute chair yoga class. It's designed for the local senior center, but I think it'd be good for anybody from beginners, maybe people who sit too many hours in their chair in the day and need to move around a little. I have my cheat sheet today just because I need some help with the Sanskrit words, and also I've got some numbers for a chart that we'll look into later. And before we begin, I might one more time ask if you'd consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you have, thanks. What I'd like to do is get enough subscribers so that I can take out the YouTube ads from the middle of the yoga classes, because nobody needs that interruption, right? So what I'd like to talk about during our pranayama, our breathing practice, is Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 1.12. In that little writing he wrote about Abhyasa, which is the practice of yoga and how it helps clear our thoughts. And sorry, this is why I need to, even with my cheat sheet, I can't read it. Vairagya. And that is the principle of non-attachment. So let's get settled into our seats and close your eyes and become present. First, check in with your posture. Make sure that your heels are directly under your knees, that your spine is long, that your shoulders, give them a little wiggle so that they're up tall, square over your hips and your heart. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And let it go. Focus on becoming present in the moment and slowly inhaling deeper each time and slowly exhaling more fully each time. And as you work on taking the breath deeper and more slowly, find your comfort level, find the volume that's best suited for your lung capacity, and enjoy those deep, slow breaths, matching the inhalations to the exhalations as much as possible. So Patanjali, he wrote about these two important core parts of yoga practice, the idea of showing up. We have to do the work. That's a value we share across all cultures, right? We know we need to do the work. We need to practice. And sometimes that's the hard part, man. Sometimes you don't want to move. Sometimes you don't have the motivation. But it's important to remind yourself that you need to practice to do the work. Now, in our culture, we have the saying, practice makes perfect. He teaches differently. He teaches that practice is important, but you need to let go of the outcome. You need to work on the sense of non-attachment to the goal. That idea is a little bit difficult for us to wrap our heads around sometimes, but it's super important. It really adds benefit and adds value to the process of everything we do. Whether it's yoga, we don't have to stretch for the perfect back bend. We can enjoy the process along the path. If we're baking a loaf of bread, all the skills that we're improving while we measure everything and mix everything, all the benefits that we attain when we smell the fresh bread baking. And even if the dog comes and takes it off the counter and runs away with it before we get to eat it, we can let go of that goal. So we didn't get to eat the bread, that's disappointing, but we gain so much benefit just from the process of baking the bread. If we're hiking up to up a mountain and it's cloudy at the top, our goal was to see these wonderful vistas, these grand views, but rather than focusing so much on that outcome, we can let go of that and appreciate each step up the mountain, each cardiovascular benefit that we attain, each scent of pine needles and the feel of the breeze and everything that we experience along the path. And like I said, we kind of work on practice makes perfect here, but we are familiar with the idea of showing up and letting go of the outcome. If any of us have raised kids, we know we have to show up every day. We teach, we're there for them, we support them, but in the end, they're their own person, and we have to let go of that outcome. They are who they are going to be, not who we want them to be. So bringing it back to our yoga practice, we do what we can to show up on the mat or on the chair. We work on our breathing practices. We work on our stretching and our strengthening, our flexibility and our balance. And we let go of goals because we will get there. We'll attain what we need to through our practice. Let's just take a couple more real deep breaths. And then we'll let our body resume its normal pattern of breathing. We'll open the eyes, roll the shoulders up and back, take the hands out and down to the sides. Now let's inhale the arms up, stretching, and exhale, empty the lungs, take the arms down. Breathe in, the arms come out and up, maybe look up. And exhale, have the arms come down. Let each movement be a stretch. Stretch the arms out and up. Stretch the gaze, open the eyes, and then stretch the arms out and down. And release. Roll the shoulders up and back. And let's take the feet a little bit wider. And we'll work on some side stretches. Kind of shift your hips around in the chair, maybe scoot forward. Just wake up those hips. We're going to be doing a lot of closed hip and open hip poses today. And we'll engage in our side stretches. So just for now, rest your right hand on your right knee. Take the left hand out and up. Reach straight up. Now drive that left sit bone into the chair and reach that left hand up into the sky and then take it over. Release the ribs so that the muscles can get a full stretch here. Don't tense up and diminish the stretch. Really just relax. Let gravity do its work. Reach with the fingertips and come back. Same thing other side, left hand to left knee, right hand comes out, stretch up, straight up, up, and then press down with the right part of your sit bone. Reach up to the sky with those fingertips, get as maximum length. Maybe pull in the lower abdomen just a little bit and relax. And then take it over to the side. Release the side rib muscles, let them stretch freely. You can take your gaze up if that feels good. Keep it neutral or look down, depending on how your night with your pillow was. And then take it back. One more time, the other side. Right hand to right knee. Stretch the left hand out and up, straight up. And then over. And release. And breathe easy. And find relaxation with each tension. Opposing forces in yoga, right? Just like in life. Left hand to left knee. Right hand goes out and up and over. Breathe deep. Again, take your gaze up if that suits you, or down or neutral, and release. Let's do some twists. We can have options here. You can take crossing at the ankles with the left over the right, cross the left knee over the right, or if you want to work on opening your hips today, make like a figure four and you can kind of press down on that knee to open up the hips. I think that's what I need today. Regardless of your choice, sit tall and breathe deep. You're going to take your right hand outside the left knee. Take the left hand down, forward, up, and back. Spin it around. And you can feel the twist starting in the shoulders. But you want to engage the full spine. So lift the belly up, get tall, and then rotate on that spinal axis. Maybe even looking over your back shoulder. Don't push it too deep, your first twist. Just breathe easy. Inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, get a little deeper. And unwind, uncross. Find your crossing point on the other side, again at the ankle, knee, or in a figure four. If you're in a figure four, it might just take a moment to kind of relax into it. Let that hip open. Left hand comes outside the right knee, sitting up straight and tall. Take your right hand down, forward, up and around, and engage in the twist. Breathing in deep and settling in. Keep your spine long. Take the gaze over the back shoulder. Let the belly come over that thigh. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, release into the twist, even deeper. Slow, steady movements. And breathe. Unwind, uncross. Let's go back to the first side. Maybe try a different leg variation this time. I think I'll try crossing at the knees. Right, right hand comes outside left knee. Sitting up tall, broad across the shoulders. Take the left hand down, forward, up, and around. And you can use the back of the chair as leverage. You can use your knee as leverage. Just be respectful of your body's limits. And breathe. This is like going back to Jane Fonda in the 80s, you know, don't forget to breathe. Only it's different, right? That was you know, don't people tend to stop breathing with exertion. You want to breathe through it. Here, we want to focus on the breath being slow and deep. Unwind, uncross, recross. So now our left hand is outside the right knee. The right hand comes down, forward, up, and around to the twist. Getting tall and getting deep. See if it feels better this time compared to the first time. If it does, that's good. If it doesn't, that's good. Again, we're letting go of the outcome. We're just doing the practice. And release, uncross, unwind. Okay, let's stand up and we'll do our spinal warm-ups for standing. Standing up tall in Tadasana, and you can of course do these in the chair if you're not comfortable standing for these. Broad across the shoulders, take the palms out to the sides, breathe in and breathe out. Now we're going to inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, long spine, reaching towards the earth. And only go down as far as it suits your body. You can release in the hamstrings or you can release in the lower back. If your hamstrings are tight, putting in a bend in the knees makes wonderful things happen. And then flat back, take the arms out to the sides, reach up, inhale, up. Exhale, down, we fold towards the earth, going within. Forward folds are so soothing. Find your comfort spot in the forward fold. Don't make it a stress pose. Make it a pose of relaxation and meditation. Get the full benefit from the pose. Don't stress about reaching the ground. Don't stress about tucking your head to your knees. Just enjoy where you are in the moment in this forward fold. And then lift up, flat back, straight spine, tight core, lifting the arms out and up, breathing in. And breathing out, diving down. One last time, one more forward fold. Nice deep breaths. And last time we come up, straight spine, tight core. Take the arms out to a T, step the feet wide. We'll do our side stretches. So we'll shift our hips a little bit back and forth, just back and forth. This is kind of like we do in triangle pose. It's good to loosen up those hips and let's shift them to the left. And take that left hand up and then take the left hand up, right hand down and stretch it over. And come back to a T. Shift the hips back and forth just a few more times, really loosening in those hip joints, all stretching all those muscles that are holding that big, strong joint in place. And then take the hips to the right. And then the right hand comes up, left hand comes down, and then stretch it over. Side stretch. Nice, easy, slow movements. And then come back, arms are at a T. Shift the hips back and forth a little bit. Get them loosened up, get those joints warmed up, get the fluids moving. Take the hips to the left and the left hand comes up, right hand comes down, and take it over. I almost got like I'm a little teapot song feeling here. And come back one more time, shift the hips back and forwards, back and forth, shifting to the side, the right. Right hand comes up, left hand down, and over. So we're getting some motion in the hips, we're getting some stretching in the side body. And again, the gaze can be where it needs to be. And then come back to neutral. So we're gonna do some spinal twists and we're gonna do them a little more free flow. Often I just like to do them like this so we can start like this, have our arms just swinging back and forth, nice and easy. But then maybe take them back a little higher and let them go a little crazy. So you're getting some shoulder stretching and some spinal stretching. Just move around in different planes, working on loosening up the spine, but letting the arms fling around. Yeah, there's no real goal here, just finding little places. Like I can feel right now, this is a great stretch on my shoulders, even though my primary goal is working on the spine. And here, see, it's like so ingrained in our habits to talk about goals. Okay, slow it down. And what we'll do is a couple balance poses and some calf raises. Let me get my clipboard for this. So we're going to come on the side of your chair. Doesn't matter which side, we're going to just stay here a little while. And we're going to press up and down on our toes. See if you can do it without the chair for balance, but if you can't, chair's right there. So this is a thing on TikTok, some doctor was talking about what physical abilities we should have for different ages, and calf raises were important to some study. And so when we're in our 50s, they said the goal of how many calf lifts you should be able to do before you tire is 23. So you're doing them, right? And for female is 21. And for when you were younger, men had a higher, they should be able to do more than women at that age. When you're in your 60s, it says 19 for both before you tire out. When you're in your 70s, it switches. Men should only have to be able to do 14, and women should be able to do 16. And when you're 80s, you can take a break at any time. I wasn't counting, but I can feel it. When you're in your 80s, it says that men should be able to do 10, and women should be able to do 13. So good practice, strengthening. I think that was in my last video. We talked a lot about strengthening. And here's another way we can build strengthening exercises into our life. And I feel that. I don't know if you do. So for our balances today, we'll do Warrior 3 pose, Virabhadrasana 3. It's a one-footed balance. It's a closed hip, so everything's going to be in line this way. And we'll begin by standing near our chair. I'm about a foot away. I'm going to inhale the arms up. Get the length that you need for the pose. We're going to continue to reach up with the left hand, but take the right hand to the back of the chair. That's your support if you need it. So from here, we're going to take our right foot, step it back behind you, kind of pointing on the toe, and then hinge forward at the hips. This is your pivot point here. And again, keep everything forward. You want your hip points to be even. So hinge forward just slightly so that you can feel a straight line between your left heel and your left fingertips. And then flex your foot. So now your foot is off the ground. The balancing part has begun. You can stay here or go further. And you're going to hinge forward on that hip point, keeping that long straight line between the left heel and the left fingertips until you can feel your start to become your leg more even with the ground. Anywhere along the way here you want to stop is just fine. If you want to progress to the full pose, you can reach your right arm forward too. And at any time you feel a little wobbly, that's okay. Come out and go back in. Once you're in your Warrior 3 pose, stretch as much as you can in all directions. And then slowly come back and release. So everybody's Warrior 3 is going to look a little different because we're all different people. We're all different types of warriors. For the other side, come around to the other side of the chair so that your left hand is near the back of the chair. You're going to put your weight and your intention grounding down in that left foot. And then inhale the arms up. Get the length in your body from the heels to the fingertips. And take the left hand down to the back of the chair. Your right foot can step back, point the toe, and hinge forward at the hips, keeping the hips level so you're creating a straight line between the left fingers and the left heel. And then flex that foot so that you're balancing. You have a straight line and you're going to hinge forward on that pivot point. Your hips are going to stay level. You're going to reach the leg back, reach the fingers forward, flexing strongly in the foot, and see how your balance is today. If you feel like you want to let go with your left hand, reach both hands forward. That's an option too for Warrior 3. I lost it. Hope you weren't watching me. So I'm going to go back into it and reach. Once you find your balance point, and one foot might be better than the other, and then you kind of come out nice and slow and steady and release. Now, I don't know how I'm doing for class time because I had this old phone here for a clock and it has said the exact same time since I began. So I don't know how we're doing for time, but I think we're doing okay. All right, so let's do our sun salutations. Coming, I can't believe that. All right, that's like my worst thing with these online yoga classes is knowing what time it is. I guess I could wear a watch, right? Anyway, so for our sun salutations, let's start in mountain pose, Tadasana. Roll your shoulders up and back. You're facing the chair. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Take your palms to the seat of the chair and bend the elbows if you want to go deeper into your forward fold. Lift up, flat back. Step your right foot back, followed by the left. Shoot the hips high into the sky, up and back for downward facing dog. Draw the belly up and under the ribs. Let the heart come down, open the armpits, and breathe deep. And then push forward onto the toes for your plank pose. You can step your feet back a little bit more if you want a deeper plank pose. And you can bend your elbows and dip down just a little bit for chaturanga. From here, you step your right foot forward, followed by the left. Bend those knees, lift the heart, arch the back, baby cobra. And then rounding the spine, coming to stand, shoulders up and back. And we're back in Tadasana. Other side, leading with the left. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, palms to the chair. Bend the elbows deeply if you want to forward fold more. And then lift up, flat back. Step the left foot back and then the right foot back. Shoot the hips up and back for Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Pull the belly up and in, stretching long from the hips to the fingers and from the hips to the toes. Push forward onto the balls of your feet so your shoulders are over your wrists. Step the feet back if you like. Lower the hips, tight core, plank pose. You can bend the elbows a little bit here for chaturanga and come back up. Step the left foot forward, followed by the right. Bend the knees, lift the heart, baby cobra. And then round up to stand. Shoulders up and back. Last, chin lifts. Tadasana. Nice. Feels good. Okay. Come back into our seat and we'll do our vinyasa flow. It's going to be a building sequence and we'll try a standing version of at the end as well. It's about 42 degrees today. My temperature regulation's off, so I'm warm, but I'm cold at the same time. It's great. Okay, sitting up tall in our mountain pose in the chair. Inhale the arms out and up. We're going to exhale and step both feet out. Dig your feet into the ground. You might need to scoot to the edge. And then hinging at the hips, forward fold. This is our staff pose, Dandasana. Nice deep breath in our staff pose, really letting the backs of the legs release. And then get straight in the spine and lift up. We're going to move into Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is half floor of the fish pose. Pick up the left foot, cross it over. Get tall, and then we're going to twist, just like we did in our warm-up. So our right hand comes outside the left knee. Get tall in the spine and look over the back shoulder. And then unwind. Arms up, uncross, and forward fold. One more time. Dandasana, seated forward fold. Nice deep breaths. And then straighten the spine, lift up. Picking up the right foot, crossing it over. We're going to twist to the right. Left hand comes outside. Get tall in the spine and then see how the twist goes. Looking over the back shoulder for half Lord of the Fishes. Nice deep breaths. In and out. And unwind. Uncross. Inhale the arms up and forward fold. Breathe deep. Time to come up for a forward fold. Get straight in the spine. Lift the arms high. That's out on triangle pose. So first, we'll pick the left foot up, cross it over, and then we're going to twist. So our right hand comes down outside the left knee, straight in the spine, looking over the back shoulder. Nice deep breaths in our half Lord of the Fishes pose. And then unwind arms up. That cross leg is going to come up and over, come out wide for triangle pose. Tip your feet so that your toes are pointing towards the left. Right hand reaches up, left hand comes down, and see how far you can go down for your triangle pose. You don't want to crunch the lower lung. What you do want to expand the upper lung, take your gaze to your top thumbnail. And then return to center. Take both feet in and we'll go straight back into our forward fold. Nice deep breaths in our seated forward fold. Inhaling and exhaling. And then lift up, straight spine, arms come up. Let's take it the other way. We're going to pick up our left foot, cross it over. Take our left hand outside the knee and then twist towards the right, straight spine for Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes pose. Breathe in deep in your twist. And then unwind arms up. We'll move into triangle toes. We'll take that crossed over foot, swing it out to the side. Scooch the corner of the chair if you need to. Point the toes towards the right. Left hand comes up, right hand reaches down towards the ground for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Again, the gaze can go to the top thumbnail. Nice deep breathing, filling that top lung. And then both arms come up. Take both feet inside and let the arms down. Shake it out just for a minute. And then we're going to add on a nice vinyasa flow series, a warrior 2 and side angle pose, reverse warrior. So dig your heels in, inhale the arms up, exhale, forward fold, seated forward fold, nice deep breaths, in and out. Straighten the spine, lift up, reach up. And then we're going to do a half roll of the fishes. So picking up your left foot, crossing it over, and then taking the twist. Looking over that back left shoulder, pull in the belly, get tall in the spine, release the belly with a breath. And arms unwind, reach up. You're going to pick up that left foot, swing it out to the side. We're going to prepare for our triangle pose, pointing the toes toward the left. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up, triangle pose. Nice deep breaths. Take your gaze up. And then come back. Take your arms to a T. Now we're going to point the toes back towards the right. You're going to pick up your right foot, step it out wide, bend that knee. And here we are in Warrior 2. Your gaze can be off over into the distance from your your right middle finger. Pull in the lower abdomens, pulling up the perineum, tighten the core. See that your hands are not one higher than the other in your Warrior 2 pose. And let's flow. Lean forward, side angle pose. Left hand comes up and over, right forearm on your right thigh, and then take it back, Warrior 2. Flip the palm, scoop it up, arch it back, reverse warrior, and come back to Warrior 2. Let's take the arms up, take both feet in, take them to the center, square off your hips, and hinge forward, Utkatasana. Rise up and release. Okay, let's do that on the other side. Stretch your feet back out, dig your heels in, get tall in the spine. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, we fold. Keep your spine as straight as you can, hinging from the hips until you hit your maximum point. Then release into the fold. Nice deep breaths. And then straighten the spine, lift the arms up. We're going to twist, half Lord of the Fishes. Pick up your right foot, cross it over, spinning the spine around. The right hand comes behind you, the left outside the knee for leverage in your half Lord of the Fishes pose, looking over the back shoulder. Unwind the top half of your body, take the arms up. We're going to pick up that cross leg, take it out to the side so your left foot is in front, your right foot is off to the side. Tip the toes towards the right. Triangle pose, the hand comes down, the left hand reaches up to the sky. Feeling that top lung expand, breathing deeply, take the gaze up. And then both hands come up and out to a T. We're going to move into Warrior 2. So first we'll point the toes in the opposite direction. The toes are going to point to the left. Take that left leg, stomp it down. Get a firm base for your Warrior 2. So your right leg is extended straight behind you. Your left leg is bent. Your gaze is over your left middle finger off into the distance. Find a drishti point, a point of soft, gentle focus. Feel the shoulders are broad. Pull the core in and up. And breathe. Maybe check your hands. Make sure you're not tipsy-turvy there. Want a nice straight line. Then we'll flow, moving forward. Side angle pose. Forearm comes down. The right arm comes up and over. Long line of energy here. and come back to warrior two. Flipping the front palm up, scooping it straight up, arching it back, reverse warrior. Top hand is arched over gracefully. The right hand goes down the right leg, and then come back to warrior two. Let's reach the arms up, bring all the feet back in, all two of them. Scoot so that your hips are straight, hinge forward at the hips for chair pose, Utkatasana. Nice strong chair pose, take the arms up, look up, and then sit up straight and release. Whew. All right, let's see if we can do a version of that standing. I'm gonna come stand up in the chair, roll my shoulders up and back. So we start out with a forward fold. It was seated, now it's standing. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Nice deep breaths in your forward fold. Hopefully your forward fold now is feeling a little bit more comfortable than it was when we first started class. Lift up flat back, take the arms out to a T. So Lord of the Fishes pose is going to be a little bit different standing. You're going to put your weight in your left foot, take your right foot, just cross it over and point. Make sure you have a steady base. And then twist. Just wrap your arms around your hips. Maybe look over that back left shoulder a little bit. And then unwind, arms to a T. Your cross foot's going to step out wide. Point your toes towards the left. And then shift the hips like we did in a warm-up and tip down for triangle pose. Take the gaze up if that suits you. And I should have said to start before we start, please repeat it in the chair if you're not comfortable standing for this. We're going to go into warrior two. So our arms come back up, bend the knee. Warrior two. Reaching forward, side angle pose. And come back to warrior two. Reach it up and back, reverse warrior. And come back to warrior two. Push hard, push those feet together, arms up. And sit in Utkatasana, chair pose. And then dive down as we go towards the other side, pausing in our forward fold. Nice deep breaths. Inhale up, flat back, arms out to a T. Or do we go up? Go to a T. Sorry. Put your weight in your left foot, point your right foot over and cross. And then wrap the arms around the hips, finding a gentle twist towards the right. Breathe in deep. Broaden across the shoulders. And then unwrap, arms to a T. You're gonna take that crossed foot. So now your right foot's gonna step far out to the side, pointing both toes off to the right. Shift the hips to the left and tip down, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Nice deep breathing, slow and steady movements. And come back up. Bend that knee, we're in warrior two. Take your gaze off into the distance. You can widen your stance if that feels better. We're gonna lean forward, come on down, side angle pose. The back arm comes up and over. Opening the chest, opening the hips, and then come back, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Reach up, arch it back, and come back to warrior two. Reach the arms up, push those feet together, come to sit and Utkatasana. Nice deep breaths. Looking up to the sky, pulling the core in, tucking the pelvis, reaching the arms higher, and then stand and release. Whew. Shake out the elbows. Sit back in the chair. Let's see, let's do a little more calf work from the chair before we call it a day. So I'm sitting in the chair on the end, and I'm gonna just lean forward with a straight spine onto, putting the weight onto my legs, and then just push up and down. It's not as strong of a balance as your calf work was before, but if you just lift yourself up and down, you will still get the benefits of adding extra work to those calf muscles. Nice deep breaths, move it slow and steady. And if you want to go a little slower, add a little more resistance, that's good. And this calf work, it's something you can do while you're watching TV. Instead of sitting on the couch, you can just stand in the doorway with like one hand out for balance and just go up and down. Or if you have stairs, you can always pause on the stairs and add a little bit of extra work in there. I'm always a fan of doing extra work while brushing my teeth although I like to do balances when I brush my teeth. Okay. Well, we're already seated in our chairs, and I don't really know what time it is, so I think, no, let's just stand up, do one more tree. Let's do a little tree pose. Feel how the balance is. Just see if it's any better or worse than usual since we've gone through a whole class. Tight core, we'll make it a quick tree. Tight core, picking up the left foot, opening up the hip, resting it against your calf, or keeping your toes on the ground depending on where you're at. You also have the option to pull it up to the top of your thigh. Just find your level today. See how everything feels after that workout. And just see how you feel. Do you feel stronger? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel a little tired? Maybe come back and try your tree in half an hour. But here it is, finding the tree, and slowly release. Balancing poses, they're where it's at, I'm telling you. Other side, grounding down into the left foot, getting light in the right, and opening the hip, finding your placement. Tight core, broad shoulders, easy breathing, and take your branches out and up. See, it wasn't so hard getting up out of the chair. I was sitting down, I was ready for Shavasana, time to relax. But yet somehow we can pull it together, get that energy to get up and get moving one more time. And release. Okay. So now let's sit in our chair and have Shavasana for real. Scoot your bottoms all the way back. Roll your shoulders up and back. See if you can flatten your shoulder blades against the back of the chair. Let your hands hang heavy. Close your eyes and return to the breath. Breathe deep. And consider one more time, practice coming to the mat, coming to yoga, showing up, giving yourself the opportunity to succeed, to benefit from your practice. And let go of practice makes perfect. Hang on to just practice. Let go of the outcome. Let go of the results. We can work our whole lives towards an intended goal and then have something random taken away. Yet we still benefit from the practice. Breathing in deep, letting go. Living in the moment. Let's open our eyes, sit up tall, and share a breath together. Inhale, the arms out and up, look up. Let the palms touch and exhale to the heart center. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you enjoy that and take care of yourselves.